What's good, everybody? It's your guy Georgia Muscle back with another video. Um, I want to get into this semi-big story that came out a few days ago in regards to Brandy. Famous Moesha character. Did the song "I Want to Be Down." Um, she did a song with Monica. The Boy's Mine. Everybody loves Brandy. Um, and she had a memoir that came out. Well, first off, shout out to her. I think she got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But she had a memoir came out called Phases, where she's detailing her life, her struggles, her success, her early success. And she had a part in there where she discussed look at the title here. 1 second. Um Brandy. Sorry, y'all. Okay, Brandy says ex-boyfriend Wanya Morris of Boyz II Men took advantage of her due to their age gap. The shame ends here. So I just want to read this and go over some things on how dangerous this is, where women are coming out later in life saying that they were taken advantage of, they didn't know, they were damsels in distress. And I'm not saying that those things don't happen. I'm not saying that, Wanya being older and her being a teenager, that is okay. Because I know if an older guy came to my home with my wife and they're talking about, oh, I want to date your daughter, who's a teenager, and you're in your 20s or 30s, so I might be spending 20 or 30 years in prison. I mean, how dare this guy here? But I'm a different man than a lot of these men that are raising these girls. So let's go over this article and let's see what she had to say. Brandy is opening up for the first time about a relationship she says has haunted her. All right, you're gonna see why it haunted her. In Phases, the R&B star's new memoir, she shares details of her late 90s relationship with Boyz II Men singer Wanya Morris that she says began when she was 16 and he was in his early 20s. The two collaborated on the hit song Broken Hearted. It was a great song in 1994, and she shares that their friendship quickly turned romantic. All right. I wasn't over my head sneaking around with Wanya and lying to my parents. I had become a constant. Oh, and lying to my parents had become a constant. They barely liked the idea of me dating at all, and telling them about us was out of question. Brandy, now 47, writes. All right, so she's dating a guy from. She's dating Wanya from Boyz II Men. I think she said in '94. They were pretty popular. I think they came out in like '89 or '90 or something. They were already pretty popular. So he has the cachet. He's a 1990s singing brother. I mean, I know these guys, R&B guys, got a lot of women back in the day. Looking good, you can sing. You're on top. You're in Boyz II Men. You're on top of the world. I know who's coming after you. I'm not saying this is okay, but we also have to understand that this was a different time. This was in the mid '90s. So many people have talked about how girls in high school had older boyfriends. Mothers and fathers knew. Mothers and fathers agreed and accepted it and didn't care. And that's one of my main issues with this, trying to put smut on this guy's name, because we're putting new age standards on stuff that people who still go to these concerts, that Boyz II Men concerts, Brandy concerts, that they were okay with 20, 30 years ago. And shoot, honest to God's truth, they might still be okay with it now. So let's see here. But it wasn't just about upsetting or disappointing my parents, she continues. Wanya and I understood with diamond cut clarity. Look at that. She understood, both of them understood with diamond cut clarity that public knowledge of our relationship would ignite scandal, potentially threatening everything we both worked for. So he and I opted for elaborate fiction. We would pretend patience and claimed we were waiting until my 18th birthday before pursuing any romantic connection. Now, now you see the title, Brandy said Wanya took advantage of her, right? Again, damsel in distress. I don't know any better. I'm young. My brain's not fully developed. But here, now in the memoir, she's saying, with diamond cut clarity, she knew what they were doing was wrong, or had potentially had terrible ramifications for both of their careers. Again, not damsels in distress, not being finessed, not being taken advantage of. That's not what happened in this instance. That's not what happened. Brandy had both her parents, her and Ray J. They had their parents home. I know she's lying, but I mean, are you so disconnected from your daughter that you don't know what she's doing, who she's doing, and where she's doing it with, or where she's at? Come on now. All right. Brandy writes of losing her virginity to Morris. Now 52. See, I've always had this theory that the guy that imprints a woman keeps her forever. Rather she gets married again, gets another relationship, she would turn gay. The guy that imprinted her, and use your imagination, and it ain't just if she loses her virginity to a guy. It's the guy that imprints her. I don't want to get too deep. I don't want YouTube, doing anything to my channel, but if he imprints her, she's forever that guy's, right? Physically and emotionally, that guy has taken a toll on her spirit. He has her spirit. Why? Because he imprinted her. She goes on to share that as the relationship progressed, he became prone to comparing her to other R&B singers, namely Mariah Carey, his one sweet day duet partner. He was also increasingly hard to track down, and she was required to page him prior to calling. Sounds like a famous guy. He got you. He got Moesha. He doing his thing. He already got you on the down low. And what guy hasn't kept a chick on the down low? Not a young chick. I'm just saying, a chick that you messing with. Like, yeah, that's my, that my little butt down. That my little butt down. And we, I come around when I need to hang out. But I'm out here, enjoying my riches, enjoying my fame. I'm enjoying life. These are the things that with hindsight you realize are wildly obvious signs of something wrong, she writes. Yeah, okay. Neon warning signs that I chose to ignore because I didn't know what the hell I was doing or what he was doing with me. Just that I was in love or what I believed was love. No, you were in love, Brandy. And it's okay. Like, to say that you was taken advantage of is just diabolical, despicable smut to put on this guy. This guy ain't doing nothing to you. This guy married now. This guy got like 6, 7 kids. You putting this on this man, talking about you was taken advantage of, and because of the age gap. Like, it's okay. You was chasing a man. You was chasing a feeling. You was chasing love, and people are gonna do that. Now, this statement here about her running through red signs or neon warning signs. You're 16, 17 at the time. Why haven't you been married since then? Why haven't you found a stable relationship? Why were you lying about being married to cover up a baby? Or have you always done this? It seemed like it started when you were 16. It didn't stop. It hasn't stopped in 30 years. What is Brandy talking about? And that's what a lot of women do. They see red flags and neon warning signs and flashing lights and still go on with it. Now if the age, if when you were 16, you were 16, she would say the same thing. But would she be saying I was taken advantage of? They were the same age, but now he's a little older at a time where this is kind of acceptable. I mean, is it, is you taking advantage of? No. No, just straight up, no. You're not taking advantage of. Let's see here. She says that the two split up after she discovered and he admitted that he was cheating. That's not being taken advantage of. People get cheated on every day. For years, she says that Morris has described the relationship as the young and genuine, having a school girl crush and getting her heart broken. But that's not the case, she says. I believe he took advantage. See, you believe. This is, she has a memoir. This has to come out, with a little shock value where, you get eyes on your memoir, you get the media on it, you promote it. All right. This is probably something she's got from her female therapist. Oh yeah, I know you was chasing and you understood the ramifications for both of your careers. I knew you was lying to your parents. I knew you had the intelligence. You had the wits about how to get around what you were doing. But now you're being taken advantage of. I mean that. Wow. See that, and that's something a therapist was like, yeah, girl, you taking advantage of. I get it. You knew what you was doing and you understood everything, but you're taking advantage of. That's kind of like going into a car dealership. You like, man, you got bad credit, you have repos on your credit, you're not paying your bills on time. Going into the car dealership and being like, man, they took advantage of me. They gave me a 23% APR. But you already know the things that will lead to you having a 23% APR. They gave you came in looking for a car. You wanted a certain type of car. You're gonna pay this price because of, uh, because of everything that you know about the repos, the accidents, the bad credit history. You already know these things. They didn't take advantage of you. You got and looked and searched and you got what you was looking for. Um, Say Morris did not immediately return people's request for comment. Over the years, the singer has spoken out about the relationship, including during a 2021 live social media post where he shared, "We were young, you're young, and you fall in love." He added, "As time progressed, we grew out of each other. She grew out of me, and I grew out of her. I might have grown out of her a little bit faster." All right, what y'all think about that? And like I said, this smut, talking down and trying to put it on this guy just for, book and memoir sales. I mean, this is despicable and this is sad. And these are the lengths that these women would go. A lot of women would go to kind of feel better about themselves since they've been in therapy. I mean, you look at it, this guy really has done a number on her. She hasn't found a stable relationship since this guy. I mean, he took her virginity and that was it. I know she has a kid with another guy, but he didn't even marry her. They lasted for a couple years, I think, and she been on and off with everybody. Like, come on, she loved this guy. She missed this guy. She's looking at this guy. I mean, Boys to Men and New Edition just had a concert down here in Atlanta. I mean, he doing this thing. I know she did something with Monica not too long ago too, but come on, man. Boys to Men, they still out here touring, getting to it. She looking at this guy like, dang, I miss him. That's all that is, man. Like, come on, Brandy, you're better than that. All right. So I want to show y'all this video from, and this goes into why I say this is despicable smut, because back in the day, this was kind of the norm of what people were doing. Not saying it was right. Right, you see what I'm saying? Like, it was a norm for people to smoke cigarettes inside their office space or on a plane. That's not right. It was okay to ride around without a seatbelt. That's not right. But it was acceptable, right? So that's why I said this is not fair to Wanya, because that's something that went on. A lot of people who are my age, their parents have 10 and 15-year age gaps. Excuse me. Their mother loved the older guy, in college. He probably at HBCU. Oh yeah, man, I got this young chick at so and so high school. I mean, who really turned a blind eye? But again, I'm maybe because I'm I don't agree with that. I don't agree with being with somebody who's y'all not even the same like stratosphere. Like these high schools, they walk around with braces and they talk like kids. Like I couldn't I couldn't get down like that. But maybe Wanya can. And Brandy, I mean, she was already famous. She was already doing Moesha at the time, I think. And she already had a hit song. Matter of fact, let me go to her hit song. The one that I like the most. One second. Look at this. I want to be down. I even had the lyrics pulled up. All right. Now, this song came out in 1994. All right. I don't even think they met yet. But this song, I think she was 15. Because she was born in 79. Because she's 47 now. So, yeah. She was about 15. Right? Now, who Brandy talking about in this song here? All right. If one second. Let me this is I Wanna Be Down. Okay? Everybody know this song. I wanna be down with you. I wanna be down. Everybody know that song, alright? Oh, it won't let me. What? It won't let me do nothing. Want to play the lyric? Just look at a couple of the lyrics real quick. Hold on, one second. Okay, so I was able to get the lyrics. So look at this. This is the first verse of her song. I Wanna Be Down. That she sang. 1990. It was released in 1994 when she was 15 years old. Now, you kind of listen to this song, you wouldn't think this was a teenager, but of course she didn't write this song. She sung it, so of course she read the lyrics. I'm sure her parents agreed with it. Her manager, whoever, producers, they're like, yeah, this is a perfect song for this teenager, right? This is not kids bop music. This is not kind of childlike like New Edition when they wrote Mr. Telephone Man. That's some that was that's teen bop type of music. So this is the verse. Look at this. Who's she talking about? I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. Because when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. Alright? And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. Right? I just want to read that. See, the lyrics are to say that she's more so complicit in the actions that she's participating in. She's saying she was taken advantage of, but look at the songs that she's singing at 15 years old. I mean, this stuff is a joke. Don't believe none of the stuff that these women say, because it ain't nothing but, they're just nothing but full of regret. That's all it boils down to. Again. But yeah, I mean, at 15, she's complacent. She's complicit. She understands what's going on. Remember, diamond cut clarity, not to mess up their careers, man. And I'll tell you something. This is something that happened to me when I was in high school. The girl I was dating, she loved older guys. And this is not some dumb chick, some loose fast chick. Well, she was fast, but she wasn't dumb. There was no manipulation. She was very calculated in what she wanted to do. You had me at school. You had the older man, because I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything for you. Whatever resources you needed, you got it from him. And he was, sure, there was a bigger age gap. This dude was like damn near his 40s. He 20 plus years older than us. So never. Well, let me not say never, but always take it with a grain of salt when a woman says she was taken advantage of. Because what is taken advantage of? sneaking and geeking around, doing what you want to do, being loose and fast with it, being calculated, setting up D appointments and hangout appointments. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. So, and just to show you, I have one more video I want to show you with Nia Long. This was a couple years ago where Nia Long described how her mother was okay that her daughter, Nia, had an older boyfriend. Look at this. Let me play this video for you real quick.
I know my mother was crazy, but you know what? I would never ever let I mean that in a good way. Listen, he did it he did it the right way. He went to her, he was from Oman. He went to her and he said, I love your daughter and I want to date your daughter, and he asked permission. Look at your face. You're like, that ain't happening with my baby.
Isn't that crazy? 30 years old. My mom's like, oh yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Different time. I don't agree with it. Heck no. But like I said, different time. And again, Nia was okay with it. Nia was smart enough. Look, she became successful. Brandy became successful. Clearly, these are wise young women, not to get caught up in stuff to prevent them from, finding success, finding fame, finding riches. They know better, right? Never, like I said, take it with a grain of salt, because they're growing up in households where these age gaps are okay, no matter if they got school in the morning, no matter if they got a mouthful of braces, no matter if they still don't understand their period. They're seeking that companionship with an older man. I don't know if Nia had her dad, but I know Brandy did. So again, this is a joke. And Brandy putting smut on somebody's name because she's full of regret when she's almost 50 with no marriage to show for anything is unfair to Wanye. This guy is happily married, I'm sure, with a bunch of kids. I mean, this guy don't even need to be in your memoir. That's silly. All right. So, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Like I said, take this stuff with a grain of salt. These women are smarter than what they put off. They were smart in their teenage years, or smart in their 20s, 30s, and so on. They're not being manipulated. If it's not no Bill Cosby, let me put a little thing in your drink. Harvey Weinstein, let me get you in this back room and take advantage. No. A little Epstein Island type of stuff. Ain't that? No. And if you read the article, there ain't none of that stuff was going on. She ain't say he ordered her. Didn't say she put slips under her drink and took advantage of her. No, she's a willing participant. And women, they want to come back years later, 30 years later, talking about, I actually wasn't willing. I was young and dumb. No, you weren't. Stop lying. You were young and ready. That's basically what this is. That's probably gonna be the title. You were young and ready. All right, you got what you was looking for. All right. So that's my video. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.